so you guys are going to ask your question. So run up, line up that mic.
You got Q's, we got A's. Just ask your questions and answers.
We're going to try to get through everyone who has a question, so jump right in.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question on Gravity Falls. You did a good impression, and in the last episode, I don't know what's the name, the white hair, he has a book, and Dipper has a book too, and it has a number. What does that represent?
That's a great question. Any other questions? You know, it's a show's got some mysteries to it. It's got some overarching themes and secrets, and there's certain secrets that I, alas, cannot reveal because you gotta stick around. But that's a very good question, and you'll probably get an answer to it. You gotta keep watching.
All right, thanks.
Hey.
Are you ever gonna make a movie where a giant monster comes to Gravity Falls? And then Dipper and Mabel, Wendy and the others, defeat it?
The answer's gotta be yes eventually.
I think it's very likely. That sounds like an incredible story.
This is for Alex. First, I want to say I drew this for you, and I will give it to you as soon as I ask my question.
Thank you very much.
Second, I love the score for Gravity Falls. I want to know, is it possible you will get a soundtrack in the future? It's just perfect for it. It's eerie, it's haunting, and catchy.
Yeah, no, thanks so much. Yeah, the music on the show is so great. It's done by our composer, Brad Breek. He's just like a young dude who's insanely talented. And you're not the first person who's asked. I've heard people say, we need to get a soundtrack for the show. Eric Coleman? Mr. Bossman?
I will say we are really excited about the music. Just the sound of it. We would love to be able to share it in the future.
Send him many personal letters asking for a soundtrack. And merchandise.
Anytime he has 2 bands, The Mishi and Skull Tape.
Yeah, that's
Download
Brad
those
Breek.
on iTunes.
Thank you so much.
My question is for Craig and Lauren. Where exactly did you get the idea of intergalactic hippieism versus the king of all hags?
Drawing in sketchbooks and just having a good time and being silly and making up stuff. So Wander just started as a character in a sketchbook, and so did Lord Hater. And I kind of went, these guys seem to want to go together. You know?
I seem like this is 1% of me.
We got the hat.
So this question is for Craig and Lauren, and it's open to everyone else. But it felt like growing up, there's all these cartoons that were like heartfelt and like just worked on different levels, like Powerpuff Girls and Dexter's Lab and all those old Nicktoons. And then at a certain point, like it just stopped, and like more and more of them, at least on the mainstream networks, were like just pandering and on the nose. And then one day I just turn on my TV and there's stuff like Adventure Time and My Little Pony and like Flapjack, and now like Gravity Falls and this again. So how do you feel about this resurgence of that sort of like tone and like that level of TV show? Do you think it's going to continue, or like what do you think about that?
Craig has a very specific theory on that, and I guess I'll repeat it. You know, I think you're right. I think there was a time where things were a little more sincere, a little more heartfelt. That kind of went away, and for a while, all that was kind of offered in animation was a lot of cynicism and a lot of like mean-spirited stuff. So it almost, like you said, there's like a resurgence of it. But what's great is that people are watching it and that people like it, and we think it's because it's just been absent for so long. So that's actually something that we're trying to do with Wander as well. You know, love versus hate, and that Wander's like a force for like not just good but optimism in the universe, and fighting against Lord Hater. And, you know, you'll see like Lord Hater is more than just an overlord who wants to make people miserable. He's actually kind of like just an insecure 14-year-old teenager who wants to look really cool. And his idea of being cool is being mean to everybody, and that totally sucks. So we want to try to nourish that, optimism that seems to be, like you said, resurging.
That's so awesome. And one last quick question. Was this inspired at all by the Beatles' Yellow Submarine movie?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the Beatles are massive for me, so you know.
How could you tell?
Yes.
So this question is for Michael. Michael, you come with you come up with a lot of stuff that is in Gravity Falls. My question is, how did you came up with some of the creatures that are in the show? I mean, gnomes dressed as a zombie, the weird flying dolphin thing with arms, and the multiverse in the newest episode.
I mean, it's a big collaborative effort, and Alex is responsible for like 95% of what's in the show. Like, I'm just like, I came up with the multiverse, but he came up with the gnomes and the, you know, like, it's just like, you know, whatever we think is funny, basically. You know, like the funniest thing that we can think of, and whatever we can have a funny take on, just like an established, like, oh, it's a zombie, but how can you subvert expectations and make that a little more interesting? But yeah.
Right, thank you.
Thanks.
Mine kind of goes to anybody who just wants to answer the question, but trying to be an animator myself, Disney was a huge inspiration as a kid. So I was just wondering what it's like to work for Disney. Is it like, you know, kind of uncomfortable because they have this huge cast, or is it just something really fun that you guys feel special to be a part of?
I'm going to answer the question. Disney TV has its own culture right now, which is one that's like really, it's really creative driven, it's really collaborative, and there's a lot of energy and a lot of like young folks and also folks with experience coming together, and it's really cool, you know what I mean? Because you think of the name Disney and you think of like what can you think of like a bigger name in animation history, you know what I mean? And it's so exciting to be part of that. I think I speak for everyone, but everyone should also speak for everyone that it's really cool. It's cool, you know, to get to say, hey, we work at Disney. And I know my twin sister's name is Ariel, and she was a kid when the Little Mermaid movie came out, and everyone made fun of her for being a Disney character, and now I've made her a Disney character. And she's embraced it, fine.
If you want, you can take the mic out.
Yeah.
I think it's removable, yeah.
Okay. I have a question for Alex. In the clip, we saw the Goggle Man, but why does he make so many small appearances in all the episodes?
That's a great question.
You're on it, and I like it.
Goggle Man, I've never seen before. I've never noticed that character. I've heard rumors about him, but I think it's just an urban legend or something. I would say that if you're curious about those kinds of things, your curiosity will be rewarded. You have to keep paying attention, and you got to freeze frame. That's all I'm allowed to say on the subject.
Okay, thanks.
I'm thoroughly impressed by you, because I didn't know, well, now I still don't know anything, but I found out about nothing on Tumblr, and just like looking at things, and I was like, do you guys know this? I felt like there was like someone that stuck, like tricked all of us.
No comment.
Okay, I know one of you did Foster's Home. Okay. Did you guys base Wonder off of cheese?
Yeah, the design looks a little bit like that, but not completely. But yeah, I can see the similarities.
Wonder has a brain.
And Jason, is that a Gravity Falls hat from?
It is, yes, it is a Gravity Falls hat. I was lucky enough to get one, and it makes me so happy to see other ones already out. I saw one when I was walking the floor the other day, and it made my whole day. So, yeah, I see it in the back too. So, yes. So, yeah, it is. It's a different hat.
This question is for Alex. At the end of the first episode, you see Grunkle Stan walking behind the vending machine. Are we gonna see what's behind it?
That's an excellent question. Grunkle Stan is he's got a lot of layers. He's like a multi-layered birthday cake where the first layer is kind of sweet, and then there's kind of gross raspberry stuff, and then there's delicious chocolate under there, and then there's graham crackers that are like so-so, and then under that there's like so there's a lot of secrets to Grunkle Stan is what I'm saying. He's like a cake. He's got a lot of secrets. Cakes don't have secrets. Stan's many secrets will probably be revealed piece by piece at certain points. That's all I can say about that.
All right, this is a question for just the whole team in general. I grew up on Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, love Foster's. Do you think that both teams, Gravity Falls and Team Boston and Kraken, do you think that you guys will combine all those ideas? For example, like a freak accident happened in Gravity Falls, and they're watching TV. And
we're talking crossovers.
Yeah, like a crossover. Yeah, thank you.
Monsters meets Jetsons, right? That kind of
right.
That is a very interesting idea. I don't know.
Perhaps we should discuss it.
Perhaps we should. Perhaps we should. I could imagine Mabel and Wander getting along swimming.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Hey, wait, can I see what's on your shirt?
Oh, sure. It's Mordecai and Ray.
Oh, it's regular show dudes, but it's Sonic too. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Hi, this is a Gravity Falls question. When I started watching the show, I just instantly love all the characters from the towns. I mean, I just can't, think of a character that I can't dislike any of them. And like a personal favorite of mine is the minor mad genius dude. I just want to know, like, which town character is actually like one of your personal favorites?
Oh, my favorite characters? Let's see. I have a soft spot in my heart for Seuss. I love Seuss because he's so weird. Seuss. I don't know. Let's see. Jason, what are your favorite characters?
I like Wendy.
I gotta tell you something. This is true. When we were in the studio and he saw the character design for Wendy for the first time, he's like, "Is that Wendy?" Wow, she's really cute. And when Linda Carlini saw the design for Dipper for the first time, she's like, "Oh, he's sweet. He looks like a nice guy." And also when T.J. Miller does the voice for Robbie, saw Dipper's design, he's like, "He looks like a dork." It's like immediately I was like, "This is working out." How about you, Mike? Favorite characters?
My favorite character is Seuss, and I sincerely applaud your effort and your future. If you can tell me where to buy those, I'll be talking to you later. Talk to me later.
Thank you.
Right, unfortunately, we only have time for one more question. Last question.
Why did Mabel get all the notes away by the leaf blower?
Could you repeat the question? When did she get the gnomes away? Sorry. Why did she get the gnomes away with the leaf blower? Is that Mabel, yes. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. The gnomes are, they're not great guys. They wanted to marry her, and it's weird when a guy likes you and you don't like him back, and so sometimes you gotta say, hey, we're not meant to be, and if they're really persistent, sometimes you need to blow them away with a leaf blower. Mabel learned that lesson the hard way.
Remember that in the future.
Thank you so much for your question.